Welcome to Angels in the Glen. In the Daniel 3 study, we're going to study about a false system of worship that King Nebuchadnezzar sets up. You see, King Nebuchadnezzar sets up a gold image and has music play and requires everyone from every tribe and tongue and people and nation to bow down and worship it. Now, you may know that everyone bows down and worships this image that King Nebuchadnezzar sets up, except 3 Hebrew boys that were taken captive from Judah. They don't bow down and worship it and are thrown into the fiery furnace. Now, you may know this story, and you may know that God delivers them. Yes, we're going to cover all those details and even more, but we want you to see a larger picture going on, because just as they were thrown into this fiery furnace, this false system of worship that put them in that situation, we want to show you and compare it to Revelation 13. Because in Revelation 13, we're going to see a false system of worship set up at the end of time. Because just as King Nebuchadnezzar sets up a false system of worship in literal, physical, ancient, geographic Babylon, so too a false system of worship is going to be set up in spiritual, end-time, global, worldwide Babylon. And we want you to know the difference, because these narratives that we read about in Daniel are vital life lessons, because they provide us a pattern for end times when they occur in end times. Because when this false system of worship is set up, you're going to know what it is and not be afraid. You're going to know exactly what's going on, and you'll be able to identify this false system of worship and how to be prepared and face the future unafraid. Because God doesn't want his people to be afraid. It's not a time to fear, it's a time to be ready. We're also going to cover another topic that is not really addressed when studying Daniel chapter 3, and that is the fiery furnace itself. We're going to find out that many times in the Old Testament, God's presence is associated with fire. That's right. God's presence is associated with fire, and we're going to study about God's presence and fire and find out that there is actually safety and deliverance in the fire. Just as these Hebrew boys were safe in the fire and delivered from the fire, so too God's people will be in the presence of God. You can watch the entire lesson at the link below. Go to angelsintheglen.org. That's angelsintheglen.org. There's 2 parts to this study. We've got study guides, but remember, this is a series of studies that will prepare you for end time events. We want you to understand the first angel's message, the second angel's message, the third angel's message, which is about the mark of the beast struggle. We want you to understand all of that, because God wants his people ready for the second return of Jesus Christ. It's not a time to fear, it's a time to be ready. God wants his people ready. I hope you'll join us.